Hi everyone. Are you someone like me who's got a bunch of HTV scraps laying around? I have a full box of them. I'm sure I'm not alone. Not only HTV, but I also have, of course, adhesive vinyl too. But I wanted to do a project this week that would use a lot of the scraps that I had. So what I did was I designed a project and I ended up putting it on this cute little cosmetic bag. All of these are different pieces, different colors of HTV, and I'm going to show you how I achieved this look. So the supplies that we're going to need, I used a bag that I got. This is Cricut infusible ink bag, but you can use any bag because this is going to be using HTV, so you can use a cotton cosmetic bag if you have one. It does not have to be a high polyester count, but I'm just using what I had on hand. So this collection actually comes with 3 different bags, but I'm going to be using the smaller one. So we need the bag. I'm going to be using my Cricut Joy Extra, my Cricut heat press, but you can use any heat source that you have. Need my heating pad. This is a pressing pillow that we're going to put underneath our bag when we press it. I have a Teflon sheet, standard grip mat. We've got our brayer, our weeding tools. This is just something to catch the vinyl as I weed it. And then of course your several colors of HTV, whatever it is that you want to use. This project is super simple. I'm going to show you guys how to make it. So let's go ahead into Design Space and get started. Okay, so here we are inside of Design Space. This is what your project's going to look like when it lands on your canvas. If you need help on how to add your free SVG to your canvas, you can check out several of the other videos that I have. Whenever I offer a free SVG that does not have a project attached to it, I will always show you how to add it to your canvas. So if you need help with that, you can check through some of the previous uploads. So this is how it's going to land, and I'm going to show you, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in a shape to represent the size of my bag. So I want to bring this over here, and I'm actually going to resize this. I want to unlock this, and the size of the bag that I'm using one of the smaller bags. It is 9 inches wide and 6.5 high. And then I'm going to change this to a guide. So this is not going to cut. This is just to help size my design so that it looks good to my eye. So you can make this whatever size that you like. Just keep in mind the bag that I'm using is going to have a zipper at the top, and it does have seams. So I wouldn't go the full size of your bag. So let me go ahead and send this to the back so that I can work on this front part here. The one that I did previously in my testing, I went ahead and I made this 6 inches wide. So leave this locked. Just type in 6, and this will be the proportion size. Now you can make this bigger if you want to. Like I said, that's completely up to you. I just think this size looked good to me. And one thing that I do is, I've said this in previous videos, I am somebody who is very visual. So I can take a tape measure, I can take a piece of paper, I can take whatever it is and put it on this bag and tell myself, okay, it's going to look good, this is the right size. But I can't convince myself that it's going to be the right size until I actually see it physically. So what I like to do, this is just a little tip that I do, and you do not have to do this, but I just wanted to give you a little tip. I come over here and I come up here and I change this to a print and cut. And then what I do is I click make it. Let's go ahead and save this so we don't lose anything. Back here because I didn't attach it first. Okay, so I changed this to a print and cut, but I want to come down here and I want to flatten this. So now, let me hide this so that we don't confuse ourselves here. You go to make it. I'm just going to print this out from my computer or from my printer. This is going to print out this image right here. I don't have to worry about doing a print and cut because I'm not actually cutting it. I just want to print it, and then I'm going to cut it out by hand to see how it looks on my bag. And this also serves another purposes. When I go to put my HTV on, I can see how it needs to be lined up. Sometimes I'll take a picture of it on my screen to see what my design is supposed to look like, but this helps a whole lot if you want to do your positioning, if you can't convince yourself that you have the right size. And all you need to do from here is just hit continue and then send to your printer. You don't need to leave the bleed on. You can just go ahead and print it from here. And I will show you when we get ready to do the project how it looks and how much it can help you to do this. But I'm going to go ahead and just cancel this. I just wanted to show you that little tip that I do. So yes, let's cancel that, cancel, and then I'm actually just going to delete that because I don't need it. So let's go back. This is our project right here. Okay, so what I want to show you on here, if you come over here and click this right here, you can see everything that's in this design. And if you hide individual ones, you can see that the same colors, the words that have the same colors, are all grouped together. They are all attached. But what I want to do, I left this I am separately thinking that if you wanted to do this in a different color instead of what was already on there, or if you wanted to do, like, you could put somebody's name in here if you wanted to, if you just wanted to personalize it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put the I am and my other light colors together. And you can actually come over here to see what all the different colors are. Now you can do this whatever colors that you like. I believe it's this one here. Yeah, so I'm going to grab this, hit my shift button, and grab this one, and I want to attach those because I want those, oops, you need to ungroup it first. Okay, so if you have that problem, this is how you know how you had to fix it. So now I'm going to grab this one, hit my shift button, and grab those other ones and attach that. So now when I go to make this, you will see you've got 7 different mats that have all their words attached. So what I want to do first though, before I do anything else, let me move this. Actually, I don't need that anymore. That's just for sizing. I want to group this. And because this I'm using HTV, I'm going to mirror this, but I don't want to have to go through every one of those mats that I just showed you and flip it. So I'm just going to come up here and I'm going to flip this. So now I don't have to worry about mirroring it. It's already done. So now when you go to make this, all of your mats, your words are already flipped. If you have followed me for a while, you know that I'm somebody who likes to use as few mats as I possibly can. So what I do is I'll go through, I have my mat in front of me. I will cut down my piece of HTV that is orange or whatever color that I'm going to use and make sure that that is placed in the correct place on my mat. And then I will come here and I will do the same thing. Make sure I have this piece cut the correct size. Move object, come up to here and confirm. And now this is here. And same for this one. And I'll just go through and I will do that for all of my HTV. Make sure that everything is lined up where it needs to be. But that's how I like to cut my pieces. So I'll go through and do all that, and then we're going to go ahead and cut this. But I'll show you the setting that I use. Like I said, I have the Cricut Joy Extra, so make sure that you have your correct machine selected, which you can see on my screen here that I do. This right here, I'm going to be using Everyday Iron-On. That's browse all materials and then type in Iron-On, and that's how you would find the different settings for whatever project that you're going to be making. Okay, and I'm going to be using this one right here. So that's what I selected. And remember, I don't have to mirror anything because I've already flipped it. So I'm going to go ahead and get this cut, and I will show you what it looks like on my mat by combining all of my colors. I do have to use 2 different mats because I have so many different colors here, but that's way better than using 7. So that's what we're going to go ahead and do, and I'll show you how to get this all put together. All right, so here's my first mat. Just make sure you use that brayer to get your HTV to stick down. If your mat isn't as sticky, you can also put some actual blue painter's tape on there to help it to stay down. Okay, and remember when you put your HTV down, shiny side goes down. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this fed in here and we'll get this one cut. Alright, let's go ahead and unload this and I'll pull the vinyl off. Okay, so while I go ahead and weed my vinyl, I'm going to go ahead and turn my Easy Press on. You want to make sure that you're following the vinyl manufacturer's recommended temperature for your product. Mine is 305 for about 17 to 20 seconds. So I have mine warming up. So while this is warming up, I'm going to go ahead and weed this. Alright, now that we've got all that weeded, make sure you got your extra little bits not sticking to your carrier sheet. Okay, so what we're going to do is go ahead and move this out of the way. Extra little pieces on this one. I'm going to bring my pressing pad over. This is my heat pad for my Easy Press. This is a pressing pillow. What this is going to do is it has give so that when you are pressing your design down, it'll help stick it better. So this is what we're going to be using, and I'm just going to do a quick press on here to get some of the moisture out. Doesn't have to be a very long one. Just going to do a little quick press to get the moisture out of here. Okay, and like I was telling you about printing out my design, so this is the design. I went ahead and printed out. I showed you how I did that with the print and cut. This just helps to see where your placement's going to be. Okay, and this is also going to help you when you go to lay your vinyl down so you know where it's going to go. So for my first one, and I'm just going to press them just like I see them right here. So if I lay this right here, and I want to see if that's where I want to put it. And I'm going to bring this up just a little bit more. I want this centered a little better. And this just helps to see if you have it where you want it. I think I want this over just a little bit more, so I'm going to move it over more. Also take your tape measure and see how far down you want it. So 1 1/4 inches. I think that looks about good. So I'm going to press this first. So what I'm going to do, I've got this on my pressing pillow. I want to take my Teflon sheet and I'm going to lay it on top. And we are not going to do the full press. We're just going to do just for a few seconds to get it to release to the bag. And we're going to do that with each layer as we go. And then at the end, we'll do a full press. So that will lift that up. And then you want to carefully remove your carrier sheet to make sure that your vinyl is sticking. Okay, make sure you go slow because you didn't do a full press. Alright, so there's the first one. And then I'm going to look at my paper here. So the next one I'm going to do, I'm going to do this one next. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm going to repeat that with all my layers. Alright, and this is the last one. So for this one we're going to do a full press, which is going to be 17 seconds. And turn that off. There you go, guys. An easy way to use some of your HTV scraps. If you make it, I would love to see it. come on over to the Facebook group and show it off. You can find this week's freebie in the freebie library. It is design number 199. I will leave the names of the fonts that I use along with the links to where you can find them. But that's it, guys. If you like it, go ahead and give it a like and subscribe and follow along for more freebies. I post a freebie every week. But thanks for being here, guys. I appreciate you.